7 million Americans participated peacefully in Saturday's No Kings protest. Reporters from every news station covered the event and interviewed the participants. Every reporter came to the same conclusion. The movement is growing. The participants are not only Democrats, but independents and Republicans. All participants passionately agreed that the party in power of all three branches is responsible for our current problems, and that our democracy is being torn to shreds. Huey Johnson doesn't want more people to see the truth. He is desperate to paint the protesters as a bad guy. Listen to his desperate attempt to keep America looking everywhere for the boogeyman, except in the Republicans' direction. Next, Huey Johnson's ABC interview. After that, we will get into Trump's doozy of a response.
House Mike Johnson right here in the studio. Speaker Johnson, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be with you. Thanks.
So let's start with the No Kings rallies. You called these Hate America rallies. What do you mean by that?
Well, that collection of folks that I listed were certainly part of it. We congratulate them on a apparently violent free speech exercise. I was a First Amendment lawyer for 20 years. We defend that right. But the irony of the message is pretty clear for everyone. If President Trump was a king, the government would be open right now. If President Trump was a king, they would not have been able to engage in that free speech exercise out on the mall, by the way, which was open because President Trump hasn't closed it. In the last shutdown, 2013 era, President Obama closed the National Mall, it closed all the national parks, didn't allow people to engage in all this. So, I mean, they needed a stunt, they needed a show. Chuck Schumer needs cover right now. He's closed the government down because he needs political cover, and this was a part of it.
We'll get to the shutdown, but just on this notion that these are Hate America rallies, and you not only talked about anarchists, Antifa advocates, pro-Hamas wing, and you said this is the modern Democratic Party. But I remember not that long ago what you said after the murder of Charlie Kirk, when you said that we should view fellow Americans not as our enemies, but as our fellow countrymen.
Yeah, I've never called anybody an enemy, but we call out...
Hate America rally or, Antifa, pro-Hamas, those are enemies.
Well, there were a lot of hateful messages yesterday. I mean, we have video and photos of pretty violent rhetoric, calling out the president, saying fascists must die and all the rest. I mean, I don't think that's loving speech. I don't think that's friendly speech. And I don't think it's pro-American to say those kinds of things. So it's not about the people. It's about the message. It's about the ideology. And I will stand here every Sunday and talk with you about the dangers of Marxism and socialism and how it's led to the literal death of tens of millions of people in the 20th century alone. It is a dangerous ideology, and it is anti-American. It goes against everything that we stand for.
But you're not saying that this is all of the Democratic Party. It's not all of the people that were out there. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Hillary Clinton referred to Trump supporters, or half of them, as the basket of deplorables.
I've never said that. I never said it was the whole Democratic Party. But you and I have to acknowledge the reality. Wait a minute.
So this is the modern Democratic Party.
It is, because look at the evidence. Look at what's happening in New York. They're about to elect an open socialist Marxist as the mayor of America's largest city.
Okay, that's enough from Huey Johnson. The thing to focus on is the ones in power. There's no reason to worry about what the Democrats might do in the future. Let's worry about what's happening now. On that note, next I have Trump's crappy response, literally crappy response, to the No Kings rally.
President Trump over the weekend posted an AI-generated video of him getting in a Navy jet and dropping presumably tons of sewage on hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of his fellow Americans protesting his presidency during the weekend's No Kings rally. I always find it curious when politicians, especially presidential candidates or presidents, seem to express disdain for millions of their fellow Americans. Hillary Clinton got attacked in 2016 for saying that half of Trump's supporters fit in a basket of deplorables. Joe Biden, the incumbent president at the time, got hot water for saying the only garbage he saw was Trump supporters, after a comedian at a Trump rally referred to Puerto Rico as a floating isle of garbage. But here we have attacking, or trolling, as the White House sees it, millions of Americans as a strategy, not as a gaffe, as with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, but as a strategy. And over the weekend, we also saw Republican luminaries such as Vice President J.D. Vance and others go on Blue Sky, which is a progressive liberal Twitter social media experiment, and purposefully poke the bears there, posting AI videos of President Trump putting on a crown and Democratic leaders bowing before him. So maybe to some people it's just trolling and have some fun and lighten up, and to others it might be more insulting. But one thing it clearly is, empirically, is the President of the United States and the White House dividing the country, and whether it's joking or not, attacking millions of their fellow Americans for having views different from theirs. Remember, this is not an AI video of Trump dropping sewage on violent Antifa riots or undocumented criminal gang members. It's dropping sewage on people peacefully exercising the right of protest.